Book of the Week, 11 Rings by Phil Jackson and Hugh Delehanty. Hi, welcome everybody. It's Jason Barlow, RMT, and I'm here today as your therapist and as your coach to help you transform your stress, your tension and pain into health, happiness, and vitality. Every Friday, it's my favorite time of the week to share with you my book of the week. Now, this book I read several months ago, but nonetheless, it's in my library, as you can see behind me. And this one was written by Phil Jackson and a co-author, Hugh Delehanty. And it's all about his career as the Chicago Bulls, LA Lakers coach amidst great players such as Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and many, many others. That the list could go on. And he dives into his history as a player as much as a coach. Now, you may or may not know this, but my background coming from the UK, believe it or not, I was big into basketball, and I played at quite a competitive level from U15, U17, 19, all the way through to university. Certainly had aspirations to want to go on professionally, although that wasn't meant to be, and that's okay. It was a lifelong journey that has taken me down many pathways and led me to this field of research and studying health, happiness, vitality, and my career. I mean, it's had such a profound impact in my life all around. Phil Jackson was such an inspiration to take Michael Jordan and team from, a pretty poor record, shall we say, to improving steadily and getting themselves to the NBA championships, and the rest is history after that, as we know. That he had the good fortune of working with in my perspective, the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan. So I highly recommend this book. There's some fantastic. I love picking up books very often, just looking at the pictures. The pictures tell 1,000 stories, I believe. That just looking at his history as a player himself in the NBA. He played for New York Knicks back in the day, and then obviously his career shifted to becoming a coach, which I don't believe there's any coach that's matched his records of 11 rings. And so this book dives into a lot beyond just basketball, which is why I would recommend it for any business owner, any parent, anybody who's serious about wanting to have a more filled life of ambition and purpose and goal setting and so forth. Take a look at a legend and his insights as a basketball athlete and as a basketball coach, and how that pervaded his day-to-day life on a personal as well as on a professional level. So a little bit about the bio of the book. Let me read this to you because it goes beyond my little synopsis just there. Is during his storied career as head coach of the Chicago Bulls and LA Lakers, Phil Jackson won more championships than any coach in the history of professional sports. So it's not just basketball. This is across all sports. Even more important, he succeeded in never wavering from coaching his way from a place of deep values. Jackson was tagged as the Zen master, half in jest by sportswriters, but the nickname speaks to an important truth. This is a coach who inspired, not goaded, who led by awakening and challenging the better angels of his players' nature, not their egos, fear, or greed. This is the story of a preacher's kid from North Dakota who grew up to be one of the most innovative leaders of our time. In his quest to reinvent himself, Jackson explored everything from humanistic psychology and Native American philosophy to Zen meditation. In the process, he developed a new approach to leadership based on freedom, authenticity, and selfless teamwork that turned the hypercompetitive world of professional sports on its head. 11 Rings, Jackson candidly describes how he learned the secrets of mindfulness and team chemistry while playing for the championship New York Knicks in the 1970s. He managed Michael Jordan, the greatest player in the history of the world and the game, in my opinion, and got him to embrace selflessness, even if it meant losing a scoring title. Forged successful teams out of players of varying abilities by getting them to trust one another and perform in sync. Inspired Dennis Rodman, another professional player, and other uncoachable personalities to devote themselves to something larger than themselves. He transformed Kobe Bryant from a rebellious teenager into a mature leader of a championship team. 11 times, Jackson led his team to the ultimate goal, the NBA championship. 6 times with the Chicago Bulls and 5 times with the Los Angeles Lakers. We all know the legendary stars on those teams, or think we do. What 11 Rings shows us, however, is that when it comes to the most important lessons, we don't know very much at all. This book is full of revelations about fascinating personalities and their drive to win, about the well springs of motivation and competition at the highest levels, and about what it takes to bring out the best in ourselves and others. My book of the week, 11 Rings by Phil Jackson and Hugh Delehanty. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found that of benefit. If you do, as always, please, I just ask you to share some feedback. Either hit a review or hit me a like or share this video, share this podcast episode, and let's help spread this message. If you're benefiting from this material in some capacities, planting some seeds, that's why I'm doing what I do. But I'd like to hear that that's actually happening for you. If I don't hear from you, I'm wondering why I'm doing this. Some days I do, in all honesty. Now I see a few views here and there, which is great. And that continues to push me and inspire me that, yeah, great. And periodically I get messages from people, either via text or email. I just got it from a great mentor of mine back in the UK. Just emailed me 2 weeks ago saying, I love your podcast episodes. Keep them coming. I love what you're doing. Great to hear that, because that makes me know that there's people out there actually listening and taking on board and maybe just getting the odd seed here and there. And that's why I do this. And I'm going to continue. I'm endeavoring to push through, but I'd like to have more listeners. I'd like to have more engagement, more interaction. And that comes to you as much as I'm doing my side. I need your assistance. So anything you can do to help spread this message, I fully appreciate. And thank you very much for your time. Enjoy a great weekend, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you. Enjoy.